Here it is, the new to me 2005 F650GS with the 2-spark system on the single cylinder. Personally, I love the color. What they call it is a iceberg metallic silver. I'm going to give it a little rip up to Johnny Park and test out its off-road capabilities. Well, without further ado, let's hop on and get rolling. Don't worry, this is not the off-road test. This is just a dirt road. We're gonna hit some of the trails and see what this bike can really do. Overall, I believe it had 2 previous owners. Barely rode the bike. It's a 05 with only 7,000 miles on it. Everything works. Kind of cool. It has heated grips built in, so this is factory. You have a low and a high setting, and these things heat up pretty quick. I would say, about a minute, and you can feel your hands getting toasty. As well as factory ABS, which you can switch off. All you have to do is hold down this ABS button. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. You have to shut the bike off. Let me try this again. See if this works. Maybe the bike has to be in neutral and stop. I know this works. I tried it last night. There it goes. All right, neutral and stopped. You see the ABS lighting up, blinks a few times. It may keep blinking just to let you know it's shut off. And of course, you got a horn. Your turn signal's down here on the bottom, and you have this high beam. If you want to just fly somewhere on the highway, you can click this a few times, and it'll flash your high beams. And you got high-low right here. It's got a lot of stuff going on up front. You also have hazard lights. Now with this bike, it has a very low center of gravity. The gas tank is actually below the seat here in the rear. Once I hop off again, I'll show you where you fill the tank up at. Your oil tank is right above the engine. Fill it up here. It even has a little dipstick, so that's how you check the oil on this thing. Oh, see, there it is. Didn't make too much of a mess. So typically what I'm used to is you look down and you have a little window, a little glass window, and it kind of tells you, if you're low or high on the oil. We're almost to Johnny Park here. I mean, it's a little ripper for a single cylinder. It's very smooth compared to the KLR, I would say, my other bike. It does feel very small. For me at least. The KLR is a little bit bulkier. The handlebars are a little more spread out, a little bit higher position, and I think just the front fairing makes the KLR feel like a larger bike. Alright, here we go. So here's our first obstacle, Johnny. We have a pretty steep hill going up. I'm going to keep her in first, see how well she pulls up. Oh yeah, very nice, smooth. Let's go a little further up. Now it's gonna start to get a little bit rough. You're gonna see some rocks on the road here. This would be a great starter bike for somebody. It's so low to the ground, all your weight's down low. And this clutch is very, very forgiving. Super easy to work with. The only thing I'm worried about is I'm gonna bottom out with it being so low, especially with me on the bike as well. But this bike will have no problem getting up here. All right, let's do a quick pit stop. Just go over some more features of the bike. The bike puts out about 50 horsepower, 49.6 to be exact, at 6,500 RPM. You have 44.3 pounds of torque at 4,800 RPM. It is fuel injected, which I love. It has a 2-spark system, which what that means, it has two spark plugs. The adjustment for the rear shock, loose or stiff, depending if you want to do highway or off-road riding. Very convenient. At first glance, it's like, oh sweet, it's got dual exhaust coming out of it. And then I fired this thing up. You can hear that there's exhaust fumes coming out of here, and there's nothing coming out of here. Well, what's happening is you got the exhaust coming out here off the left side. This is the catalytic converter, and then you have this pipe connecting it from left to right, and you have the exhaust coming out on this side. Because if you look, there's nothing here, nothing on this side. So it looks good, at least, you know. I think it does. Here's where you fill up your fuel at. To pop this seat off, you get back here, this little storage container. You pull here, there it goes. So here's your gas tank in the rear of the bike, right under your bum. We'll throw this back on. Now this is not a stock seat. It's a very nice aftermarket Sargent seat. Well, without further ado, let's give this bike a proper rip. Further in. So the dry weight of this bike, 386.7. Wet weight with fuel in it, 421 pounds. Not bad for this big of a bike, adventure bike. And fuel capacity, 4.75. What I find very strange that BMW did not put a fuel gauge on here. So you have no idea how much fuel you have left in the tank. But, you know, with some simple arithmetic, it's pretty easy to figure out, you know, how many miles you can go per tank. Got a little distracted by that side-by-side going up over there. Should we see if the GS can do it? Might be a little rocky. Now, I have no doubts this bike will go up. It's just I'm worried about clearance, ground clearance. Oh, look at that. Not bad, not bad. We'll wiggle our way through here. It's a very petite bike, so you can get around almost anywhere with this thing. All right, let's see. Let's go to the left. Oops, scraped a little bit. Now, it also does have a center stand. You know, before I forget, let me show you guys the center stand. Out of all the bikes I ever owned with a center stand, this is the easiest. Check this out. Boom. It's on. You know, since this bike managed pretty well right there, I'm going to go to the most difficult spot of Johnny Park on this end. Woo! How you doing? Couple of Huskers. How you doing?
Howdy.
What's that?
Howdy.
How you doing?
Good, you?
Good, good.
Is that the, which one is that?
It's the 650, the single sill.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just too low. So I can't really rip it. It just keeps on hitting. You know, usually I take my KLR out here.
I gotta go
Oh, yeah.
my bro.
Nice bike. Love it. those guys had some nice machines for up here. You know, down that way is just more of the same. Let's give it a rip, see how well it goes up. What goes down must come up. Is that how it goes? I don't know. It's got such a nice pull to it. Let's see if we catch these guys. It's too small for me. It really is, and I think even trying to upgrade this one is just gonna be too much of a hassle. Now, BMW did come out with a Dakar Edition of the F650GS, which I believe has a bigger front wheel than this one. It's just a little bit higher. Some certain mods just straight from the factory. But man, does this bike handle well off-road. Very impressed. Alright guys, I think it's gonna do it for this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the bike in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time.